All right, everybody, welcome to the session. And today we are going to focus on how to fuel your success through positive ambitions, how to use the attitude of ambitions, how to use the character, the mentality, the spirit, or the law of ambitions to fuel the success that you desire. Many times there are some people, ambitions can be negative and positive, and that's why we're focusing on the positive side of ambitions. You know, there are certain things in business and in career which I think many people will never attain until they understand how to use the attitude of ambitions to fuel the success that they are looking for. And when you study the patterns of people who have gone ahead, with some significant level of impact and result in what they do, there is some deepness of ambitions. And that's why I always like to say that for every successful entrepreneur you see, there is some small, they have a minimum quantity, let me say so, of rebellion. The truth is that if you cannot be rebellious in a good way, as far as your success journey is concerned, you may not really attain a certain level of result. If you are not rebellious in how you work hard, maybe working harder than every other person, you may not be able to attain a certain level of success. Let's come down to the basics, for example. You know, if you get up and start working, start studying, start practicing whatever you're doing at 3 a.m., and somebody gets up at 6 a.m., whether they like it or not, whether nature likes it or not, you were already ahead of them by 3 hours. You're already working harder than them 3 hours ahead of them. The truth is, anybody who wakes up at 5 a.m. when you're already up at 4 a.m., you have already gone 1 hour ahead. And that is why there is a lot of power in making sure that when you are up, do productive activities. It could be up to study. It could be up to draw a plan. It could be up to analyze what is happening to your life, your industry, your business. But make sure that you are not up doing unproductive things, maybe just thinking about your problems, just thinking about challenges and all of that. That doesn't solve anything. That's not a productive activity. But if you are up earlier than any other person, it is critical that you understand that there is a certain attitude, there is a certain mentality that until you embody and begin to practice, there are certain things that you will never handle. Let me tell you something. Never sit on the outside and admire any great person or great results. These people go through exceptional level of hard work, commitment to manifest or fuel the success that you see. When I get to meet great people, one of the things I try to understand from them is, what are they doing behind the scenes that the public doesn't know? And when I get to start telling the story, you get to see some things, some patterns that average people are not doing it. And one incredible thing is that these are things that they started doing when they were nothing. When they were nothing. I was reading an article by somebody who wrote about the science of remaining a giant. The science of remaining a giant. And one of the things he said was and is, if you want to remain a giant, don't stay away from the things you were doing on your journey to being a giant. Like, for example, many people get to rise and fall because the right character, the right activities they used to do when they were struggling, they stopped doing it when they felt like they made it already. Right? It's like, for example, a Christian, or let me say a human being who goes to church and you pray for blessings, all of that, you worship God, and when you are broke, immediately God blesses you, you stop going to church to pray, you start going to nightclubs and drinking, you don't have a car, you can go anywhere, you're claiming to be very busy. You have stopped doing the things that got you to the top. And what can happen is that you may not be able to maintain that giant status because you have stopped doing the things that fuel your growth to the top. It's the same like success. Like maybe, let's say like me, for example, like since 2011, I've been waking up every morning at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. sometimes to study and do stuff. Now, maybe because of this level now, I stopped doing the things I used to do. I am going to drop. I'm going to drop. The only way to maintain that status is to maintain the things I used to do that got me here and also increase the deepness of those things. This very simple philosophy, but very powerful. And this relates a lot to ambitions. Or if you are not ambitious, you cannot maintain this kind of mentality or process that will lead you or help you to maintain your giant status. So it is critical to understand, what are your ambitions? What are your positive ambitions? And how can you use it to fuel your success in career and in business or in whatever you have chosen to do? Every successful professional and business leader have an intense desire to lead. There must be this intense desire, this intense ambition to lead. They have a clear vision of a better future with which they are determined to realize. And this is something very critical about ambitious people. You cannot say that you are ambitious if you don't have a very clear career vision. That's why I've been speaking to you guys consistently about, make sure if you're a professional, you're a career professional, please have a career vision. Have things that you want to achieve in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, 40 years, if possible. Have a life plan. It is very powerful. If you're a business person, if you don't have a yearly vision for your business, you don't have a 10 years vision and 20 years vision and next 30 years vision for your business, something is wrong. One of the things that determine the level of hard work for many people is that there is a place where they see themselves. If you just live and you exist, you wake up from bed and you exist, you don't do things that are driven. One of the things, if you notice that you are not very driven, you are not very committed, you quickly lose motivation and self-discipline. Check if you have a very clear vision for yourself. There are some things that I can never lose motivation to do personally, or the discipline to get them done. I know where I'm going. I know where I want to be in 2030. I know where I want to be in 2040. And I know the things that if I stop doing these things, I will never get there. So whether I like it or not, my motivation has gone ahead of me like 10, 20 years. So I'm not permitted to be tired or to be lazy around certain things. And that's why if you look at the great people, from the Elon Musk to the Dangotes, the Tony Elumelos to the Samuel Eto's, guys who are producing results of what they do, check their life patterns. There is something that drives them. Do you have a very clear vision of a better future? Don't have a clear vision of complaining and you're only afraid that tomorrow you're going to be a failure, you're going to be this. No, have a vision full of future possibilities, despite of what you're going through right now. Of course, everybody's going through something. Nobody has a perfect life. But one thing that separates people that have a beautiful life is that they have a clear vision of a future full of beautiful possibilities. And most importantly, they are determined to realize that future. And the level of determination is determined by how clear you are about that particular future. Leaders, business leaders and career professionals have the drive and the ambition. These are two critical things about people who produce incredible results. They have this massive drive and this exceptional level of ambition. They are so committed to see it happen. When I say you, if I say that as an entrepreneur, you are driven or you have this drive of an entrepreneur, what I am saying is you have relentless, compelled mission to accomplish any goal. You are relentless, you are so compelled by a need to accomplish your goal. That is the meaning of being driven. You are so relentless. You are so compelled in your spirit, in your mind, in your body. Everything around you is so convicted to achieve a particular goal. If I say you are ambitious, it means you are so persistent. You so strive for success, attainment, and accomplishment, and you are so determined to make sure that you achieve that even in the face of the most incredible difficulties. And to emphasize again, one commonality between ambitious people is this vision. Quality vision for tomorrow separate leaders from non-leaders. Therefore, business leaders and career professionals who have a future have a clear picture of the kind of future they want to create, and they have the ability to communicate this vision to others in an exciting and inspiring way. It is very important. This is for people who have employees especially, or you have people that report to you. But you see, entrepreneurs, if you're building a business, you're building an institution, this is very important in your leadership. Very important in your leadership. You cannot expect to lead people into a future you have not been there yourself as a leader. Have a very clear picture of the kind of future you want to create for your institution, for your business. And most importantly, have the ability to communicate this vision to the people that you lead in an exciting and inspiring way. For example, if you come to the office, because this group right now, we have 17 employees, looking forward to scale that based on the work we want to do. And there's something they always say, most people say that we're building the next big thing. The difference is, how I keep telling them, we are building the next big thing. There are things we're going to start doing that if everybody in the institution don't have that same mentality, we're going to outgrow some people. That's a fact. But you need to see yourself as part of the next big thing that we are building as an institution. Very important. You need to push that. You need to communicate that. It's critical, especially for yourself. Especially for yourself. Business people and corporate professionals who will go places have the ability to visualize, to see the big picture, and then to inspire others to work together to make it a reality. And this is a critical part of ambition. You cannot claim that you are somebody full of ambitions if you don't have the ability to visualize that big picture. And many a times, the big picture is bigger than your current resources, even bigger than your current skill set, bigger than many things that you have. In short, bigger than your current level where you find yourself. But the most important thing is you need to visualize, because you need that to fuel your success. If you don't have that ambition, you will not fuel your success. So it's critical to have that ambitious visualization. Okay, these are the things I desire to achieve as a professional and as a business person. One of the, I think I've shared with you guys this, one of my career dreams, sort of my career plan is to be a consultant with the African Development Bank and the World Bank. I've always dreamt about that. Like I've been on an intentional plan, and I had a work plan for that, like for since 2018 or so. Very ambitious. That's someday I must do consulting projects with African Development Bank and the World Bank, not really for the money, but just for self-actualization, just to show that I can also do it, right? And when you do that, when you have that kind of ambition, it now determines the level of hard work that you put into it. The level of hard work and commitment, because you start doing things that will permit you, authorize you, give you the audacity and the right to earn that particular thing that you desire. Because if you desire something and you are not fueling yourself to qualify to earn that thing, you will just desire, but you will never see it. That's why the ambitions are there to fuel the success. So you start taking steps towards that direction. Like, for example, what did I do? I started doing research. Anybody who has done a consulting contract with the World Bank or the African Development Bank, I try to research them. Sometimes I know them, I talk to them. So tell me, I want to know your profile. I want to know the things that you do. I want to know the kind of things you write about. I want to know the kind of papers you publish. I want to know your academic qualifications. I want to understand these patterns, because I have this ambition to get there, but I need to understand how to get there. Ambitions, your ability to visualize your ambitious future full of possibilities, play a critical role in contributing to the reality in less than no time. You see? So a few days ago, the African Development Bank reached out to me, invited me to be a consultant one of their projects for the next 1 year. And I was super excited about it, super excited. I realized me sending the email saying yes, but I didn't even ask how much they're going to pay. It was a guy who was related to the project asking me, so how much is your bill? Can you send us your invoice and all of that? So, but I was so much excited that, the things I did has helped me to achieve that particular ambition. So ambitions are very critical. Nothing will stretch you like having clear ambitions with clear visions based on the things that you want to bring to humanity. And that is why true business leaders and career leaders see leadership as a tool that they can use to bring about a result that is bigger and more important than any single individual. Yes, one thing about ambitions is the ability to use leadership, the ability to use your skills to influence people to bring about a result that is bigger and more important than any single individual. Very critical. Because there are some ambitions that you would never achieve on your own. You will need to bring in your leadership abilities. And that's why leadership as a skill or leadership as a methodology is a tool to achieve greater success. There are some things that can just actually, like the African proverb, you want to go far, go alone. You want to go further, go with people. So the ability to be able to create that culture or that leadership structure where you have a people that believe in what you are building or you desire to achieve multiplies your ability to produce better results. And that is why, under the principles of ambitions, of positive ambitions, you become a leader when you set a goal. You become a leader when you make a plan. And then most importantly, you become a leader when you throw your whole heart into making that plan a reality. Hear this again. You are an ambitious leader in business, in career, in your community, when you set a goal. So what is that ambitious goal that you have for yourself and for your institution or for your career? You become an ambitious leader when you make a plan. What is your next 10 years plan? What is your next 5 years plan? In short, what is your plan for this week? And most importantly, you become an ambitious leader when you throw your whole heart into making sure that the plan you have becomes a reality. Stop writing plans day in, day out, but you don't put in your best every single day to make sure that for every written plan you have should become a reality. Then something is wrong with you. Ambitious leaders go the extra mile to make sure that their plans come to pass. Whatever ambitious plans you have in place, you need to throw your whole heart in, your body, spirit, and soul to engineer the success that they're looking for. Reality doesn't just manifest just because you plan. Reality manifests when you go all in with your heart and with the mindset of execution to get things done. And that is why it is emphasized according to the concept of positive ambitions, that you become a career leader, you become a good business leader when you know exactly where you want to go. And that's why I encourage, especially for mentees, I always like them to give me numbers. Okay, these are the things you want to achieve from Monday to Saturday. Good, that is the deadline, which is important. You need to know exactly where you're going, and most importantly, what you will do. If possible, have minimum KPIs, minimum key performance indicators. Don't just tell me you want to sell. Okay, worst case scenario, how much do you want to sell? It is very critical in the journey of success. You need to know where exactly you want to go. Most importantly, you need to know, why do you want to get there? I always encourage people, for every goal that you have, state a why. Sometimes the why can push you not to give up. That's why people who work hand to mouth are very hardworking, because they know that if they don't work and make money, they will not be able to pay bills, they will not be able to pay house and all of that. But that's not enough why. You should have a higher why. If you're still working, if the main reason why you make money and produce results is because you want to pay bills, you are still in level 0 of why. You need to go further. There should be a stronger why attached to every goal that you have. When there is a reason why you want to achieve a goal, the how is always created. You become an exceptional career and business leader when you know exactly where you want to go. That is, visualize your ambitions. You know why you want to get there. Why do you want to be here in 2030? Why do you want to achieve this in 2025? What is the big why? What is the purpose? And most importantly, what will you do to achieve that ambition? What will you do? What are you willing to sacrifice to achieve this ambition? How hard are you willing to work? How determined are you willing to go the extra mile to make it work? What will you do to achieve that ambition? I don't trust people who don't clearly communicate to me what they are willing to do to achieve something. They always have a question mark about them. They're going to give up someday, or they're going to relax someday. I like when somebody tell me that, okay, look, based on this, based on this goal I'm working on this particular season, I will not be very much in public because of this and this and this. Like in my close circle of friends, many a times we get to communicate each other, and you get to somebody, if somebody tells you that, oh, hey guys, I'm working on this and I will minimize a lot of events. Maybe this month I may not attend an event at all. Or, I'm working on this and I'm reducing my sleep to 3 hours per day or 4 hours per day, determining on that. Okay, I'm working on this and I'm going to minimize my presence on WhatsApp. Now, those are examples of things that people share when they want to sacrifice some things to answer the question, what will you do to achieve the goal for that season or to achieve your ambitions? Nobody achieves ambitions the same. Something must alter in your daily routine. Something must alter, and you've got to always sacrifice something. Right to how you spend money, how you hang out, how you sleep, how you buy things. Many things are going to alter for the sake of that goal in place and ambitions. And there is one thing: if you have set goals like this year, if you're here and you've set goals for yourself this year or certain ambitions for yourself this year, and nothing has changed based on how you are living your life last year and this year, then actually forget, you are just making noise. You are just speaking to your conscience by setting the goals, but in the reality, work is not being done. You are not achieving any tangible result, because if nothing has changed in your routine, from sleep to hangout to social media to television to any of these things, then you're missing out on a very big piece when it comes to achieving true success in whatever that you are building. So remember, you become a career leader, you become a business leader when you know exactly where you want to go, why you want to get there, and what you have to do to achieve the ambitious goals. If you don't have responses to these 3 questions, something is wrong. And one thing about being ambitious is that you have this eager desire to get results, and you are very impatient with delays. That's one sign that you're ambitious. You are so eager. That's why I always say that if you are somebody that you still struggle to get up from bed when it's time to get up, there are a couple of things in play that you have not ascertained. Number one, you have not ascertained your purpose. Number two, you have not ascertained what you are willing to sacrifice to make it happen. Number three, you don't have goals that have convicted you. Number four, you are not eager for results. Because when you're eager for results, you know that you need more time to produce results. You need more time to be productive and effective. So one clear proof that you are ambitious in a positive direction, which can fuel your success in what you're trying to build, is you have this eager desire in your heart to get results. You are not good at wasting time. You are not good at delays. You don't like people that come late to the stuff you have to do. You just have this phobia for delays and laziness and poor results. You are just eager to get things done the right way. And most importantly, you are very good at driving yourself to produce the right result at the right time. You're so eager to get results. You don't give room for delays and excuses and poor results. You're very excited about getting things done. And you're very good and excited to push other people to get things done. And you also get very frustrated if people are not living up to the expectations of getting the results done or getting the result achieved. You become very frustrated. And that's why there are some people like that where they just get to avoid some people. Like me, for example, if I push you, don't get it done, I start avoiding you because I don't have time to be around you because you're like a phobia already, especially getting things done the right way, on the right time, and consistently in the right direction. I start getting away from you like, oh, you know what? I don't have the energy to run after you, and I don't have the energy to waste my time on you. Like in the office, I tell the team, I don't need you to be good on Monday and lazy on Tuesday. No, I need you to be consistently good on Monday to Saturday, from January to December. I need you to be consistently good. Like personally, one of the things I can make you having a discussion with the staff that, okay, look, I think we need to go our separate ways, is when you are not consistent and doing the right things at the right time. I can quickly terminate a staff contract based on poor consistency, maybe even than stealing it. If you steal, I'll go and lock you up, punish you, and still bring you back. Also, I can pray and you repent, right? But you see consistency of good results and being eager to produce results for your job and what you do. If it's not there, I quickly just get furious or a phobia about it. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I think you are not, this is not a space for you. This is not a culture for you and I. We cannot work the same. Because you need to have that desire and that ambition to make sure that what is to be done on Monday, you get it done. Tuesday, you get it done. Till Saturday, you get it done. There are no excuses for I didn't feel like, or was not motivated. It's not permitted. Is very critical for success. Many people have undulating results, like last week they are successful, last year they had a good life, this year they are nowhere to be found. Check, one of the patterns that is causing that undulating success is that their consistency towards the right things is also undulating. It's not steady. Their dominant mentality is not steady. Their dominant habits are not steady. The character for that is not steady. Their value creating activities are not, many things are not steadily growing at the same time, which negatively affects the work that they have to do. All right. Now, one important thing about being ambitious when it comes to being a career leader or being a business leader is that you always want to lead and to produce results. You want to lead, you want to be in charge, you want to be responsible for making things happen. This is very important. You cannot claim that you are ambitious, or you cannot claim that you desire to succeed in what you do. I don't care whether you're a pastor, you're an entrepreneur, you are a working professional in a company, or all of that. If you really desire to be successful and to be a thought leader and to be somebody who produces incredible results in your sector, you need to always want to step up and lead. You step and lead. You step up and you take the leadership mantle that, hey, look, I am going to lead. They need a leader right now. I'm going to show up and be the leader. You don't let people say, determine what you do. Oh, this person will like to show. Is it your show? Ask them like that. Step up and lead. Step up and be ahead. You always have that desire to lead. Number two, you have this desire to be in charge. You don't sit by the fence. No, you get off the fence and you are in charge of your life. You are in charge of that situation. You take the lead and you're in charge. Most importantly, you want to be responsible to make things happen. You intentionally take actions to engineer and make things happen. You don't wait for things to happen. No, you are proactive at engineering things. You take that responsibility. So look, it is my responsibility to make things happen. That's how you fuel success. You are willing to endure the risk. You are willing to make the sacrifices that are required to make a real difference in your world and in the society. That's what ambitious people do. You are willing to endure the risk. You don't run away from risk. Yes, it is risky. It may not work. Your probability or your calculation has proven that this thing, 85% chances is that it will not work. But you choose that, okay, if there is a 15% chance that this can work, I am set. I'm going to make it work. I am going to endure the risk. I am going to take the risk to make it work. Let me tell you, ambitious leaders don't wait for everything to be perfect before they embark on any project. No. If there is a slim chance, if there is a slim opportunity that it can work, you go for it. Let me give you an example. You are looking for a job and you have seen a job which you know that you can do, but they say they need a minimum master's degree. We have just a BSc. They say they need 5 years experience. You have 4 years experience. Yes, you don't have 100% requirements for that job, but there's a slim chance that if you write a good cover letter, if you structure your things very well, and you send a very good email, there is a slim 10% chance that you may be called up for an interview. And when you finally receive that interview call, you make sure you so prepare for that interview that when you open your mouth to talk, they will see that you deserve to be in that position. That's what an ambitious person will do. You want to start a business? Oh, you don't have all the capital. You don't have everything in place. But you decide to create a business model that can permit you to start small. But when you start small, you are the hardest worker in the room. If there is just a 10% chance that that business can work, you take on that 10% chance and you put in all your best. Remember we said earlier that an ambitious leader has a goal, set a plan, and throw in all their heart and mind and body to make sure that that goal comes to pass or becomes a reality. So an ambitious leader endures the risk. Is it just a 10% chance? Okay, by faith, I am going for it. I am going for it. I love things that prove that I will not get it. I love to try things like that. I love to try things that they say, you know what, you don't meet the requirements. But if I'm convicted I can get it done, I will send in my documents. And don't do the mistake of giving me the chance to talk to you face to face. I will get that deal. I will get it. I will be so confident. I will make sure that that 10% chance that you have given me, I will not mess it up. You're willing to endure the risk. And most importantly, you are willing to make the sacrifices that are required. One time I had a session with you guys, I think it was last year PPA. I was teaching you guys that the world only respects you when you do what is required, not what you feel like doing. Your feelings don't matter. Your motivation, how you feel, doesn't matter. Don't expect to come to the world after in the morning or tomorrow and then you go to someone and say, please, you know, I was born in a poor family, please help me. Nobody cares about where you're coming from. Nobody cares that you are poor. Nobody cares that you're an orphan. Nobody, see, the world doesn't care that. The marketplace doesn't respect all of that emotions. The marketplace respects people who do what is required. So keep your personal emotions aside and show up. Show up with the right mentality, the right skills, the right attitude, and most importantly, the right sacrifices. Do what is required. You cannot claim to be an ambitious leader when you are not ready to make the sacrifices that are required to make the real difference. Sometimes just working hard and putting in longer hours than any other person may be what is required for you to stand out. As I said earlier, whatever you see anybody manifesting in the public, check what they're doing behind the scenes. There is some level of sacrifice that they're putting behind the scenes that qualifies them to manifest what you see on the outside. You see them getting opportunities and doing all of that. Oh, it's not just based on that. They have done what is required behind the scenes. They have studied more than you. They have perfected their competence more than you. They have practiced behind the scenes more than you. They have outperformed their yesterday self more than you. So when they show up and they dress well in suits, forget about the suit. They have scars behind the scenes. So when they open their mouth to talk and they take on opportunities and they get it done, it is not because they just wake up and they felt like they can do it. No, they have done what is required behind the scenes. They have done what is required behind the scenes. I traveled to, which country was? Traveled to train. Something happened. So I was supposed to train for, I think it was 8 days, every day for about 5 hours. Most when I travel to the country, my trainings are very long so that I don't stay. I don't train 2 hours, 3 hours. If I do that, I have to stay like 3 months. I don't like to train. I pulled a maximum that I train like 6 hours a day, 5 hours a day. So I went out, the guy thought I would stay for about 1 month. So I said, no, I want to stay for 10 days. So I pulled the training to 6 hours per day. So that was like, there's no space for you to prepare what you're going to train on. I said, no, I don't need to prepare. I've been doing this for a couple of years. I'm not just doing, I know I've been preparing for this. If I train for 2 hours, I can bet you I've studied that topic for not less than 30 hours my entire life. If I can teach you on ambitions, it's not that I'm studying about ambitions. I started researching about ambitions, the concept of ambitions, and the role ambitions can play in the journey of success like 5 years ago. There are some sacrifices that authorize some manifestation on the outside. Of course, I've seen people that you give them the platform, they can barely say a word that makes sense and they lose opportunities. You have a golden opportunity, but because you cannot do what that opportunity requires, you lose it all. You lose it all. So as an ambitious leader, apart from having the faith and the willingness to endure the risk and take that slim chance that life has given you to make things happen, you must make sure that you are willing to make the sacrifice that is required to make the real difference in your career, in the business, and in the world in general. This is the one thing. This is the one thing that many people are not willing to do. Many people sleep still romances you from your own destiny. Small 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you cannot wake up. You wake up today at 3 a.m., we want to see you again like 2 weeks after. Sleep has already conquered your destiny like that. We need to start looking at. That's why, as I said earlier, I don't trust anybody who doesn't know what they're willing to sacrifice to succeed. I don't trust you. You're going to give up tomorrow. You're just going to, you just give you like 2-3 weeks. And I always tell you guys, I don't trust anybody who cannot do certain sacrifices for more than 4 years and above. Now, I was telling guys in PPA, those who joined PPA this year and last year, just because I'm waking up 4 a.m., 3 a.m. now, I don't trust you yet. I'm pumping you, but after like 24 months, after like 2 years, you wake up every day for 2 years, and I'll say, oh, see, this one is going to go far. You know, you're the impressive waking up for 1 week. You're just doing introduction. In the science of success, anything that will last, I think I made a post about on Facebook yesterday. Trends, fake things, and trends don't last for more than 4 years. If you see yourself doing things and giving up every 1 week to do, you are fake. You are not yet original. Original things last for 7 years and above. Fake things and trends. If you are doing things just for trending sake, you are doing things to please me, to please your husband, your wife, your dad, whoever, it will not last for 4 months. 4 years will not last. Trends and fake things and fake character don't last. It will always manifest. It will end very soon. In the science of success, it's proven that if you want to build something deep and sustainable, there are certain things you have to do every single day for at least 7 years. Then you're somewhere. Maybe you start doing, last week you are there, this week you are not there. You are so, in short, you are so very good at being inconsistent. You are consistently inconsistent in your life. You are consistent with the wrong things. And that's why I spoke about something I want to train on undulating success. There are some people that they cannot, the whole year, they cannot just, you cannot see yourself open door after open door. Opportunities are opportunities. You have like 1 opportunities per year. You know, opportunity just manifest overnight. No. There are mechanisms, there are frameworks that if you don't do behind the scenes, both spiritually, professionally, academically, if you don't do it consistently, you cannot consistently engineer opportunities on a consistent basis. And it takes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of it, lots and lots of it. So we need to be conscious about this. If not, like Baminda boy would say, you're only boiling beans. Right? All right, so let's conclude. Let me share with you the qualities of ambitious future leaders. Yes, the qualities of ambitious future leaders. I want to share some qualities. Anybody here right now, if you want to leave a record-breaking result someday in your life, in your career, you want to become what I call a principality in your industry, then you need to learn how to practice these qualities. Take them down and be on a mission to do what is required. Be on a mission to sacrifice and do what is required so that you can make a difference in the real world. These are, I think there are about 10 of them. I'll quickly run through, or so 11 of them. Yes, 11 qualities of future ambitious leaders. If you want to be tenacious, you want to be a leader that disrupt and do things and consistently be on the news and produce results, and of course have good news and open doors for yourself consistently, then this is what you have to do. Of course, they're not limited to these qualities, but these are the most important, that if you get it right, you get it right now and consistently, trust me, you're going to go places in whatever you do. Number one is professionalism. The first quality of ambitious future leaders is professionalism. This is what you have when your conduct, appearance, knowledge, communication, and quality of work produces a consistent magical effect on the people you work with. Hear that again. If I say that you portray the ambitious quality of professionalism, what I am saying is that you have a way that you conduct yourself. You have a way that you appear, the way that maybe you dress or you just look neat and professional. You command a certain level of knowledge. You have a way that when you communicate, you have a way that the quality of your work produces a consistent magical effect. I like that word, magical effect. There are some magical effects, there are some magical results that you will never produce without some level of professionalism. And again, professionalism embodies a couple of elements: your conduct, your appearance, the quality of knowledge, how you communicate, the quality of your work. These are the elements that makes up professionalism, which in turn produces the magical effects on the people that you work with. You know, you're that kind of person that when you come in contact with people, they don't want to let you go. They just want you around them. They just want to be around you because they're like in the presence of greatness and future possibilities. There's just a way that you communicate. You just have this uncommon knowledge about certain things. And of course, you don't wake up you don't wake up in the morning and you become a professional. Oh no, you don't. It takes daily routine and consistent hard work. So guys, the first charge to you is make sure you invest in your professionalism. Check your conduct. How do you conduct yourself? Check your appearance. You must not dress expensive, but look neat and nice. Look professional. Check your level of knowledge. You claim you're a professional in the sector. There are some of you, you are everywhere. You command no deep knowledge in any field. You are everywhere. Anywhere there's money, you are there. And let me tell you, if you are still a young person or even an elderly person doing things for money's sake only, being everywhere for money's sake only, you will not go far in life. There are many other parameters to consider before you embark on certain things. Don't say yes to it. There's a level you reach in your maturity. You don't say yes to everything and to everybody. Command some level of knowledge in something. Be a principality and an authority in something. Communication. Communication is very critical in professionalism. If you don't have the ability to drive intelligent conversation, and the level of knowledge that you have contributes a lot to the quality of your communication. I like to call it intelligent conversation. If you cannot open your mouth and drive a discussion around a topic for 10 minutes and above, and in good structured English, something is wrong with you. And you don't know how to enter a setting and know how to talk depending on who you have met in that setting. You know how to bring down yourself or bring up yourself or relate what you know to fit the people that are in that setting. Something is wrong. You need to know how to be dynamic in your communication. When you meet students, you know how to communicate. When you meet fellow colleagues, you know how to communicate. When you meet elderly people who have gone ahead of you, they are richer than you, more influential than you, they have more power than you, you know how to communicate. You have to communicate in a way that they see that this boy, you've got value in you, you've got some wisdom in you. If there's one thing I've been training myself to do is to understand how to speak in the midst of greatness. Very powerful. Some people are too arrogant in the midst of greatness and they lose opportunities. Some people don't even talk sense in the midst of greatness. They go mute. They lose opportunities. You need to know how to balance the two. There's a way to speak in the midst of greatness. Don't go mute, don't overtalk, don't be arrogant, don't claim, but know how to balance the discussion. And let me give you the first strategy to speak well in the midst of greatness. When you're going to make people research about them, so that you don't just talk useless things, talk things that they care about, and don't just talk what they care about. Talk and bring in things that they did not anticipate in their thinking. Try to anticipate their thinking gaps. Even if you may anticipate and say things that they're thinking about, but just how you communicate it and the kind of important points you bring, they say, no, you see what, I cannot get your contacts. I need to stay close to you. Please invest in your professionalism. Remember, it takes conduct, appearance, knowledge, communication, and most importantly, the quality of your work. Don't do yayashous work. Don't be everywhere. Don't do things. Make sure you have some standards. In whatever you do, make sure there is some level of quality. It's ordered, it's organized, it's structured, it's nice, it's presentable. It's very important. Talking about professionalism, it is also about your ability to define and maintain your personal brand. Oh, yes. About your ability to define what is your personal brand. There are many of you, nobody knows your personal brand. You are everywhere. One sign of professionalism is that you have defined what you represent as a person, as a professional. And most importantly, you maintain your personal brand. I can give an example. Some of you, 2 years ago, you were youth empowerment. Last year, you were women empowerment. This year, you're in gender violence. Next year, you're in peace development. The other day, you're entrepreneurship. This month, you want to become a coach and a speaker. Nobody knows what you're good at. You have not defined your brand. From agriculture to public health, you are just scattered everywhere. You have not defined it yet, and most importantly, you have not maintained it. You don't become an authority and a principality by being everywhere. And many people that are everywhere, they're everywhere because of money. When they think money is here, they are there. They think money is here, they are there. They think money is here, they are there. At the end, they're everywhere, but they cannot make any significant amount of money. I was talking to somebody else, a young person who wants to be a trainer, and I've been observing him. He has been everywhere, like just scattered everywhere. I asked him, you say you have 5 years to 7 years experience. Let me ask you, can you charge somebody 500,000 francs to speak for 1 hour and they pay you? Can you pay yourself for 500,000 francs an hour to speak? He was looking at me. Number one, you have not built a name in any topic, any industry that you can be respected for. You are looking for 1 million francs in monthly income, build yourself. Build a brand and maintain a brand that can command 1 million francs, whatever that you do. Professionalism. Number two, on the qualities of ambitious future leaders, we are looking at the second quality, leadership skills. Yes, leadership skills is very important. Your ability to influence people will come largely out of 3 things. Leadership is about influence. You cannot claim to be an ambitious leader if you don't know how to lead people. Largely depend on three things. Number one, your effectiveness at cultivating relationships. Under this quality, you need to make sure you are good at three elements. Effectiveness at cultivating relationships. There are some of you say just to write a good SMS, you can even write. Even some of you in this PPA group. So the way some of you write the SMS, I'm like, this one. The way you just write things scatter, they shorthand inside some of your words, you don't start with capital letters. You're just writing scatter, you are not ordered. You write a simple SMS, is so disordered, is so scattered. Somebody can even enjoy reading it. A simple SMS, the way it is structured and the language in the SMS can cultivate a relationship. Emails, some of you can even write good emails. Professional email is a problem. So you have not even bought a gift to anybody. You know, gifts are very good in maintaining relationship. You have not even sent your friend a birthday mobile money. Oh, today's your birthday, let me just give you 1,000 francs. It will not be much, 2,000 francs, you know, just buy yourself ice cream and praise God for your life. That can cultivate gift. Or just being somebody who speaks sense. You can advise, you can encourage, you can counsel, you can say something that can encourage somebody to stay true to life and to work hard. Learn how to cultivate professional relationships and even informal relationships. Number two, your competence. Yes, your ability to lead people depends a lot on your competence. People like to follow people who know what they are doing. Nobody likes to follow a fool. Only fools follow fools. The most important element under this quality of leadership is competence. We have been talking about that already. Please build your competence in that sector that you desire to be a leader. Everybody is ambitious in a particular sector. One of your first major conditions and requirements is to build competence in that sector. And the last element under this quality of leadership is character. Character is the bedrock for sustaining beneficial relationship. Nobody likes somebody who tells lies. Nobody likes dishonest person. Nobody likes somebody who don't treat people very well. Me personally, I don't trust you if you don't have personal principles. That's my first condition to be close to you. And sometimes I don't even ask you. If you observe a human being with personal core principle, you will see it in their life. You don't need them to tell you. You need to know what the person can tolerate and not tolerate. You need to know what the person can tolerate and not tolerate. Character is the third most important element under the leadership quality when it comes to being an ambitious future leader. It's the bedrock to sustain relevant relationships. What is the deepness of your character? The third quality of ambitious leaders, we spoke about this earlier briefly, is communication skills. You cannot take away communication from ambitious leaders. You know how to communicate one-on-one. Know how to communicate to a group of people. Know how to communicate on a virtual platform. Know how to communicate clearly in writing. Know how to communicate clearly on a video. Know how to communicate on voice in whatever means. I've told you guys about 360-degree communication. You cannot claim to be an ambitious leader if you don't know how to communicate. And not only communicating, but the quality of communication, the quality of what you're saying, the strength of your language, and the value of what you're talking about. There are people who communicate, but they're making noise. There's communication that comes with noise, and there's communication that comes with value. And you need to be a pro in your industry, in your path, in the path that you have chosen, for you to communicate in a way that makes sense to whoever is listening to you or to whoever you are engaging. Quality number 4 for you to become an ambitious leader is selling skills. Sales skills. You cannot be an ambitious leader if you don't know how to sell. We are all selling something. If you're a worker, you're selling yourself. When you're in an interview panel, or when you're being interviewed to be promoted to a new position or for your salary to be increased, you're selling yourself. You're a pastor, you're selling yourself to Christians. If Christians don't trust you, they cannot listen to you when you minister to them. You need to know how to sell yourself to them. You're business people, of course. You know, you don't sell, you don't make money. No matter how good you are, if nobody can buy from you, you're a talented poor person. Every time we are selling something, you are trying to ask a girl out, you're selling yourself. You're trying to impress a boy, you're selling yourself. We are always selling something. Most of the time is that the result of your sales action must not be money. It must not be money. But every time you and I, we are selling something. Be careful how you come across to people. You come across the wrong way, you can lose a client. You can bring the wrong impression, which can lead to a closed door. How are you packaging yourself? And what is the content of what you're packaging? It's very important in sales. So develop selling skills, push yourself to sell, be out there, talk confidently, project yourself, package yourself, have deep content inside of you. When it's time for you to sell, close the deal at all times. That is your responsibility. Quality number 5 when it comes to being an ambitious leader is learn how to build influence. Learn how to build influence. If you are still following and you're getting something, leave me a comment in the chat box. Let me know that you are not sleeping. Are you getting some value? Give me a reaction in the chat box. Somebody say not sleeping. All right, good. Let's down up with these qualities. All right. Influence is the fit quality. Influence is the fit quality. Influence here, when talking about ambitions, please listen to this carefully, extra carefully, because many people are messing up here. If there's one thing that can scale your bank account, is understanding how to build and use influence. There are some people in this society that if you cannot influence them, you will never get a heavy check. And it takes a lot of tacticality. Tacticality and English what's that? It's communication. English is communication. Oh, you get it. It takes a lot of strategy, tacticals, planning to be able, you cannot influence a minister the right way and a minister doesn't sign a check for it to be a good project for the government. You cannot influence the United Nations, you cannot influence the World Bank, African Development Bank, or whoever is influential too on a bigger institution, and you do it the right way and they don't give you a check, because they need your value. That's what I'm trying to say. So there are, as I was telling a friend, you keep having small checks because you have not stepped up your game and influence the right people. If you keep influencing quarter boys and quarter girls, small people around up and down, yeah, I know that there's always a level for that. They need to take it a step forward, and you need to have a plan for it. And sometimes you need some coaching to achieve that. There are some of you that are very gifted, but you are gifting underserved local people, in quotes. And I mean, local people, you have not used your gift to serve kings and queens. The Bible talks about that, right? But until you're gifting, start serving kings and queens, talking about influential people that put at the top, there are some things you will never handle. And it takes commitment. It takes a plan of action. It takes strategy. It takes consistency to arrive there. But the point is, people are not even conscious. Either you're serving locals or you're serving kings and queens. That's how life is. You cannot be in the middle. And perspective of others in a positive way. Very powerful. Influence here means what? Your credibility with you have done the right things. Like, for example, to appear before kings and queens, there are certain things that you have to do consistently that will need to attract their attention. Without credibility, you cannot stand before influential people. And we're talking about credibility of proven works. Credibility of when you open your mouth and talk, somebody says, you see that person, I want to connect with that person, give me his contact. Credibility of when somebody hears about you, so no, I want to meet him. I want to meet that boy. You know, I was in my last trip. So in my last trip, one of the staff in the company I was training spoke about me to somebody in the presidency in Ghana, and the person come out like, can I meet him before he go, or can you give me his number? I think I need to talk to him about something. Because that's one thing with influence. One character or one trait of influence is that your credibility has grown so strong that others are excited to talk about you. Even some, like I always say, become so good at what you do that whether somebody likes you or hates you doesn't matter. They cannot ignore you. You know, there's somebody who hates you and still talk about you now. You know, I don't like Joybert, but he's good at what he does. Right? That's the influence. That's the influence. So sometimes you need to focus about the likeness and the feelings. You need to focus about the main thing. What is the strength of your credibility? Your influence here means your credibility within your industry. Very clear. Within an industry. You cannot be credible by being everywhere. There are some of you, your credibility is still on 0% because you have spent the last 3 years of your life being everywhere. So you command no credibility within any sector. And this is a very popular thing for many people who are into this network marketers and these investment schemes people. People are being money of this kind of thing. They're everywhere and they're not sustainable. They have money last year, they don't have money this year. They have gone through all network marketing companies. Anyway, they think that they can make money, they are there. So at the end, they have no credibility. And it's a very worrying kind of, and many are not seeing it yet. Many don't see, some have seen it, many have not seen it yet. And there's a ripple effect when you are not sustainable in many things, and especially certain industries. You see industries of, you see healthcare, you see education, you see finance. They are not industries where you can just do anything anyhow. You can get the stain on your name that may take you years to erase. Also, that's why there are people that at the end, they may just have to leave the country where they were based and start a new life in another country because there's a stain on the name that it may take time to erase it. Influence here means what? Your credibility within your industry. That allows you, this is the second part of influence. You cannot claim to be influential if you cannot shape the opinions and perspectives of other people. That's then you're not influential. You cannot speak up about a topic and people listen or shape the opinions of other people. Then that's not influence yet. You need to keep building. You may be on the track right now, keep building. You need to arrive a level whereby, you know, the media can come to you as a resource person and get their opinion because they know that your opinion or your perspective can shape the perspective of other people in the same industry. That's the proof of credibility and influence. You become an expert resource person, maybe to a company, to an institution, to the government and all of that. Because you can shape the perspective of other people in a positive way. If you have not arrived this level, you are not yet influential. And don't confuse influence with popularity. There are many popular people. There are many popular people, but they are not influential. They cannot influence the opinions of people in a positive way to make the right decisions that can advance a society, advance a community, advance an institution, or advance a cause or a mission. One thing about influence is that you command this thought leadership and cutting edge thinking that makes people to respect you. I'm taking time here because this sounds very short on influence, but if you get this right, and let me warn you, please, you don't build influence overnight. Research says that to build sustainable influence, you need to do the right things around a particular topic or industry for at least 10 years. Before you can say you command a certain level of influence that can be respected as thought leadership, cutting edge thinking that makes people respect you. It takes 10 years and above to build that kind of influence. That's why I keep telling you guys to keep it. There are certain things that you will not handle yet if you are not wearing the long lens. Please don't be moved by quick money stuff. I'm still seeing people who make quick money and remain relevant after 10 years, 7 years. They don't even last for 4 years. They don't last for 4 years. It's not anything, it's patterns, it's science. Science has proven it, it's research has proven it. Patterns of human beings have proven it. Don't be that, don't be, I prefer that you make 100,000 francs, 200,000 francs consistently, and then build the influence and credibility that someday you can get paid 10 million francs for 1 week to do a job. And you can get paid like that for the next 30 to 40 years. You don't only have being paid well, but you have a name in the industry that can be valued as an amount. You have a name that can shake nations. Now that is real influence and credibility. That's real influence and credibility. Influence is that cutting edge thinking, thought leadership that makes people to respect you because of the kind of result that you produce or engineer with your level of thinking and thought leadership. Number 6, social intelligence. This is the seed quality that you need for you to thrive as an ambitious leader in your business, in your career, or in whatever that you do. Social intelligence, the ability to get along with others, is a key requirement of success for ambitious leaders. The ability to get along with people. You cannot claim to be an ambitious leader when you just look at somebody and then you hate the person. How about you judge people based on their religion? You say, you know what, I don't like people from this church, I don't like you from this religion, I don't like this, I don't like this. Or you judge people based on their tribes. No way, you are not an ambitious leader at all. You are a native doctor. Ambitious leaders have exceptional social intelligence. They deal with everybody. They are very good at diversity and inclusivity. They treat everybody first on the basis of humanness. That's my personal principle. I treat you first on the basis of humanness. I'm one of those who believe that our first religion is humanity. Humanity. I don't treat you based on whether you are from this tribe or you're from this tribe or you're from this religion. That's your problem. That's your personal opinion. I see you as human first, and then we do business. Whatever your level of education, whatever you studied, from which tribe you come, is not necessary. And I may even never, there are many people I've dealt with, I never know which tribe they came from. It's not necessary. Exceptional leaders understand the power of social intelligence, the ability to get along with others is a key requirement for ambitious leaders. But this doesn't mean that you should please everybody. No, there's difference between pleasing people and getting along with people when it concerns work and professionalism. It doesn't mean that everybody must like you. No. Social intelligence doesn't mean likability. It doesn't mean everybody will like you. No. It means that you are so good at relating with people, you have boundaries, responsibilities, and you respect your principles and you respect their principles, and life goes on. And for all you care, like I said yesterday in the group, everybody will never like you. Everybody will never like you. Have that at the back of your mind. Everybody will never like you. Stop trying to be likable. It's not your job to be likable. Not everyone will gravitate towards you because they like you. But there's one thing I charge you to do. Make sure that that person who doesn't like you, let them respect you. You are permitted not to like me, but I'll make sure you respect me. You respect me based on the work I do, respect me based on my results, respect me based on any other thing. I don't need your likeness. But put some respect on the name. But respect doesn't come because you make noise or because you stand and shout, please respect you. Can you respect me because of this and that? Number 7, outperform. Ambitious leaders outperform. Ambitious leaders outperform. What do I mean? Ambitious leaders outperform their yesterday self. If you are the same person yesterday, you are the same person today, you are the same person tomorrow, something is wrong with you. Only God is permitted to be that because he's all-knowing, he has gone ahead, he has come behind, he has gone round. As a human being, you are not permitted to be the same yesterday and today. You are permitted to outperform yourself. Outperform your finances. If last month you made 100,000 francs, this month make 101,000 francs. Outperform your finances. If last month you read 2 books, this month read 3 books or read 2.5 books, outperform your yesterday self. You need to make sure you double our effort. As I always say, in all you do, make sure you are the hardest worker in the room. Outperform, outwork yourself. Ambitious leaders outperform themselves. They are very good at going the extra mile. They are so ambitious. They are so driven. They are so consistent. They're so massively set out to achieve what must be done. Number 8, have a domain of pursuit. Ambitious leaders have a domain of pursuit. We've been talking about this earlier on. In simple terms, ambitious leaders have an industry. They have a domain they have chosen. So look at me, I have chosen to pursue a thriving career in this domain. I want to become the best medical doctor ever. That is a domain. I want to become an expert in agricultural finance or agricultural business. That is my domain. I want to become an expert in financial services, cryptocurrency, whatever you have chosen. But by no means, don't forget this. Ambitious leaders have a domain of pursuit. In short, you cannot permit to ask God like David, should I pursue, will I overtake? Of course, you will overtake if you have chosen a domain to pursue your career. What industry have you chosen to win in? And you don't dominate in an industry again in a few years. According to the patterns of industry thought leaders, the least I have seen of an industry dominant factor is 10 years. Even academically, it has been proven. If you calculate the years that it takes for you to do your first degree, master's, and PhD, you combine it, it's minimum 10 years. Minimum 10 years. And it's intentional, it's scientifically proven that for somebody to be called an expert in the sector, they must have studied it and they must have been active in that sector for at least 10 years. So let me ask you a question. How long have you been in pursuit of that, your domain? Ambitious leaders have an industry that they are pursuing expertise and excellence and dominance. That is your responsibility. Number 9, financial stability. Yes, One quality of ambitious leaders is financial stability. Most people who are very ambitious are financially stable. Yes, one proof that you are ambitious and you are doing the right things, you have the right credibility, you have the right domain, you're pursuing, you're outperforming yourself, you should be making money. Or if you have quality of knowledge, I always tell you guys, one proof that you have sense, one proof that you have wisdom, you should be able to take care of yourself. Good wisdom should take care of yourself. Good wisdom should take care of the carrier of the wisdom. There's no wisdom that cannot be paid for. If you truly carry wisdom, you can monetize it. The world is driven by ideas and wisdom. The quality of your knowledge, the quality of your wisdom should give you financial stability. The quality of your hard work, the quality of your credibility, the expertise in your domain that you have chosen, the quality of your social intelligence will give you more clients. You see, all of these things we have been saying, they should be able to contribute to your financial stability. Like the exercise we did after yesterday, where I was saying that anybody who has 5 and above, you should be able to be financially stable. That's one sign of things like that. Having a driving ambition and desire to succeed means that you often work harder and more hours than your counterparts or friends. And due to your ability to be ambitious, to work long hours, and your dedication and the quality of work and quality of your skills, you often earn more than any other person because they are less ambitious than you and they are willing to work only 9 to 5 or 8 hours every day. That's why you should have financial stability as an ambitious person. You get that point? The reason you should have financial stability as an ambitious person is because you have the desire to succeed, which means that you're always willing to sacrifice and work harder than everybody else and work longer hours than every other person. And due to the long hours and your level of hard work and dedication, you often earn more money than people who don't work hard than you. You often earn more money than people who work lesser hours than you. Like one thing with ambitious people is the number of hours they put in what they do. Average people work 8 to 3, 8 to 4, 8 to 5, or 9 to 5. Abnormal, ambitious, crazy people work at least 13 hours and above. I always say this to entrepreneurs, if you run a business, you're a full-time business person, and you put in less than 12 hours a day on your business, on your startup, there are things you are not yet doing. You are very ignorant of many important things you should be doing to build your business, and you need to wake up to do that. Number 10, ambitious and curious and ambitious leaders have good work ethic. I've been talking about this already. Have good work ethic. They have very dangerous work ethic. Ambitious leaders in career and business, they are not afraid of hard work. They are not afraid in putting in the effort required to achieve their goals and dreams. They are completely focused on their goals, and all of their energy goes into that driving purpose. That's the kind of work ethic that ambitious leaders have. I always talk this about entrepreneurs, for example. You're an entrepreneur, there's nothing like I am tired. You are tired when you have completed your task for the day. You go to rest and continue tomorrow with new goals. Replace I am tired with I have finished my goals for the day. You're only permitted to use the word I am tired after you have used the sentence I have finished my goals for the day. That's work ethic we're talking about. Work ethic, you are the first to get to your office and you are the last to leave. And you're not just there because you want to show up. You are there because you're getting things done. You're doing work for the business. Work ethic. You get up every morning at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. for the next 6 months to 9 months. No excuses. Sleep doesn't control you. That is work ethic. You discipline yourself to read the books in your industry so you become an expert in your sector. You read whether you like it or not, whether you feel like reading or not. You shut the hell up and read when it's time to study. That is work ethic. You don't have any work ethic if you are undulating in some key things that you have to do to change your life. Since the year started, you have not even finished one book. You take one book, you read one chapter in 5 minutes, and then you drop it. That's not work ethic. You run a business, you go to work after your workers. What were you doing at home? Nothing that makes sense. You got up late, you are lurching around, you are WhatsApping and Facebooking, nothing that makes sense. You go to work late to every staff. And then your staff have laissez-faire attitude. You're angry that your staff are not working hard, but they're copying from you. You are imparting, you are doing impartation with what you're doing, the kind of lifestyle that you're doing. Work ethic. Ambitious leaders have dangerous work ethic. Laziness and whatever has no space around their lives. Number 11, the courage to face challenges. That's the last quality of ambitious leaders. The courage to face challenges. Ambitious professionals and entrepreneurs are generally very courageous. They do not shy away from challenges that arise along their path to greatness. They know that greatness will, in the path of greatness, there will be challenges, but they don't run away, they don't shy away. They persevere and face the greatness head on. They face problems head on with great courage and strength. The courage to face challenges is very important. Therefore, to conclude, my charge to you is, from today, as ambitious professionals and leaders, determine a clear vision for yourself and your organization. Where would you ideally like to be in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years? Define it very clearly. Write it down. Share it with a mentor, with a coach, or with a close circle of friends who can believe in what you're talking about. The more clear and specific you are about your future and the vision for yourself and your company, the more you will accomplish and the better and more effective business and career leader you will become. From today, my charge to you is decide what it is that you really want to do with your life. Yes, from today, decide what it is that you really want to do with your life. Stop being everywhere. Stop being up and down. That is not the character of ambitious and fulfilled leader. This is the great question of leadership. If you had no limit whatsoever in terms of time, money, and resources, what would be the most excited? What will you be the most excited about achieving for yourself and for your organization? This is the question for you as we round up. If there were no limits, if there were no excuses, if you had no limitations as an entrepreneur, as a career professional, if money was not the problem, if there was no possibility that you will fail as an individual, what would be the most excited goal that you would like to achieve for yourself and for your business? Write it down, set out, so that you can win in life. Remember, ambitious leaders have the intense desire to lead. They have a clear vision to achieve, and most importantly, they are determined to realize every action plan they have for their career and for their business, and they produce incredible results. All right, everybody, that is it for today. We can chit chat and we'll round up with questions. Cheers.